Welcome back. We can finally do Opportunity Makes the Thief, Part 3. So, let's speak to Bella.
Good to see you again. I've heard from Miss Eris that under your superb management, the museum is on the verge of regaining the thriving crowds of its heyday.
I am happy about this. I am quite happy about this.
If the momentum continues, and if the History Culture Hall can reopen on schedule, the museum's complete revival is surely just around the corner.
What went missing this time? Straight at it. Just straight at it, being like, right, what now?
So, you guessed it already.
Yep.
I'm afraid there's been another theft. Like the previous cases, a valuable item was stolen from our exhibit, this time in the History Culture Hall. The item in question has a connection to you.
A connection to me? So what is it?
Have I piqued your curiosity? It'll be easier to explain once we're actually in the History Culture Hall. Why don't I take you there now?
Please do.
With an exhibit like this, all Belabagians will know your story.
What is it then?
You can probably guess from the name that the History Culture Hall houses artifacts, replicas, and documents that are of great historical significance to Belobog. Every passing day, we Belabagians must continue to endure the city's harsh environment. The trials and experiences of our ancestors serve as a reminder that the path of survival belongs to every generation of our people. Every child in Belobog should visit this exhibit at least once. No, once isn't nearly enough.
I was thinking maybe this big object here that housed the Stellaron. But no, that's still here, so what's missing?
This is the item in question. This projector is a limited edition version, custom made for the museum. The only one of its kind in the whole of Belobog. It can produce images with a resolution up to... Oh, sorry. I'm doing my tour guide thing again. I'm sure someone as well-traveled as yourself has seen much fancier equipment than this.
Wowee! This is so high-tech.
Nice try keeping a straight face. The issue isn't the projector, but the microfilm that goes into it. It's the most crucial piece of this exhibit, and it was stolen. There were some very valuable images on that film, and we hadn't gotten around to making a backup. I must admit, the thieves chose a good target, and they were fast and efficient. Slide projection is a new addition to the museum. It was intended to be a surprise for visitors when the History Culture Hall reopened. If we don't recover the microfilm, the hall's opening will have to be postponed indefinitely. Some of the images stored on that film are related to you, Miss March 7th, and Master Don Hong. The curators of the museum wanted to take this opportunity to tell the story of the Astral Express's visit to Belobog.
You did a secret photo shoot of us?
That's beside the point.
No, it's not beside the point.
Is that your phone?
Message for you, sir. Right, what we got here? Ooh, flowers. I heard you're back in Belobog again, Twittiger. How have you been? Life's been fulfilling, I suppose. I heard about that. Thank you for taking the time to help us. Pella has already reported on the matters regarding museum management and the recovery of valuable exhibits. Thanks to your efforts, progress has been made on these fronts. However, the artifact thief has not yet been apprehended, and they cannot be allowed to roam free any longer. If you have time, could you come to Klipoff Fort for a visit? I want to discuss the follow-up investigation plans with you. I'll come with Pella. You're with Pella? Excellent. I'll be waiting in my office.
Was that a message from Lady Bronya? This theft case has been dragging on for too long. she must have decided to intervene. If she can delegate more resources to the investigation, that should help it move forward faster. No point in waiting around here then. Let's go pay Lady Bronya a visit.
The resources will be Lady Bronya. You just see that happening already, can't you? You can see it happening already. Wonder what's down in these rooms. Need to get a proper look at some of these characters around the place. We really do. Like we've done with all the other exhibits. We'll do that when we've pretty much finished up. But for now, let's go speak to Bronya. We need to get in there. Is there a way to just teleport straight there? Navigate. It's not the same. It's not the same. I do like how open this area is. Very nice. Just relax. Look at the sky. Look at the Geomato art thingy. Yep, that's its name. Geomato art thingy. That pile of paperwork has not been touched. That's an issue.
Welcome. If I'm not mistaken, the two of you just rushed over here from the History and Culture Museum? I appreciate your coming here on such short notice. I should have gotten involved earlier, but I was tied up with other responsibilities. My apologies for letting you take on the investigation without proper support.
Lady Bronya, we never saw it like that.
There's no one else here, Pela. No need for such formality.
Okay, Miss Bronya.
I heard that you helped recover a number of valuable items for the museum, and that you've been running the museum as a part-time manager? Do you have any insights into this serial theft case?
Feels like we've gotten very lucky, doesn't it? Out of the options there, that's the one that seems the most accurate.
Or maybe it's just the fruit of your efforts.
No. Very lucky.
In any case, this fiasco has been going on right under our noses for too long. Regardless of how cunning and talented the culprit may be, we must draw them out and demonstrate the resolve of the architects. I will issue an immediate directive to mobilize all on-duty Silverman guards in the city to conduct a door-to-door investigation. You're familiar with many of the locals in the administrative district, right? If possible, I'd like you to head to the city center and see if they have any clues to offer us.
Understood. We'll head there at once, Miss Bronya. Guess you're stuck with me again for this assignment. Let's meet up at Fountain Plaza.
Indubitably. You say meet up at Fountain Plaza, but you're right over here. Year 301, Year 302. Seems like the archives of Fortification Year 232 are in order. The next should be Miss Pella. Please don't. How did you get here? Like, you told me to meet you outside, but you're here now. Did I give you a fright? How old are you? Stop acting like a kid. And which year was it just now? Alas, forget it. It's time I take a break after all the work. I'll keep you company. Then what can I do for you? Nah, I'll leave you to your work. Alright, I should get back to work too. Yeah, outside. We'll see you outside. Clearly that's just her in her normal position. Clearly. Imagine how overworked she would be, where she's going straight back to her normal, everyday stuff, as well as dealing with this, at the same time. Busy.
This place is an endless stream of people. Where do we start?
Let's start with the people that we already know.
Agreed. That'll be more efficient. I remember lots of folks like to relax around the plaza. Let's head there first.
Ah, the tram, so lovely.
I remember you. Do you have any questions after reading the Scam Prevention Guide? Perhaps you've decided to join the Dark Blue Scam Victims Association.
Do you know anything about the stolen museum artifacts?
How could I not? Precious items from the History and Culture Museum have been stolen one after another, and the culprit remains at large, despite the Silvermane Guards' noblest efforts to track them down. I'll tell you the truth. I've been preparing to publicly accuse the person responsible for this whole thing for 2 days now.
Huh? Oh, wait. So you have incriminating evidence against the culprit?
Evidence? Who needs evidence? Let me tell you, there is only one person in all of Belobog who could do such a thing. That shameless blue-haired fraudster.
Oh.
You guys are here to investigate the case? Perfect. I'll give you a list of the culprit's scams, too.
Sorry, sir. Today we're only here to investigate the museum thefts. And we can't close the case without evidence. If you come across any reliable clues, please report them to an on-duty Silvermane guard. Let's get going.
Oh dear. So who else could we ask? Wait, who was here? Wait, I'm looking the wrong way on the map. Is it you, Nika?
Ready to sign the petition? Have any other questions?
Do you know anything about the stolen museum artifacts?
Ah, you mean the items that have been disappearing mysteriously from the History and Culture Museum? I heard tell. I wonder if they got their hands on the original manuscripts of Tale of the Winterlands.
Absolutely not. Don't worry, ma'am. I will protect those manuscripts with my life.
Oh, wow! That's a relief to hear. I didn't realize you were so passionate.
Sorry about that. Back to the topic at hand. Do you have any clues that could be linked to the theft of the museum's artifacts? Have you noticed anything unusual lately?
I've noticed something unusual. On the chair, to the left-hand side of the screen right now, it seems like someone is reading a book on that chair, but only the book has loaded due to the distance we are away. It just looks unusual.
Well, let me think. The editorial department has been recruiting recently. The new editor-intern was scolded by the editor-in-chief a few times, and then... Sorry, these are all everyday occurrences. I really don't know of any noteworthy clues. Maybe you could try asking the other people around here?
I see. Sorry for taking up your time. Let's move along then.
Indeed. Yeah. This person here was reading this book, but they weren't loaded, but the book was. I'm assuming that's just something memory-saving wise they do. In that scene, or were we a certain distance away? I want to see what the distance is for the book to appear. But not... like, it was just at the right distance. What's the... like there? I'll just... Gotta get just the right distance. Ooh. I don't know. I feel like that was just spot on. The right distance for the book to load, but not the person. Anyway. Again, just me having a gander at how they've basically tried to save resources all over the place. Because again, you gotta think, this game has to run on mobile. How have they done it? What techniques have they used? I'm interested. And that's probably one of them that we just saw right there. It's cool. It's cool. Anyway.
Children of the Everwinter city, proud citizens of the preservation, hold your heads up high. Grind not against the mundane vulgarities of your everyday lives. Always remember, deep in your hearts, the teachings of the architects and the Supreme Guardian.
The man before you seems so engrossed in the elaborate speech performance that he doesn't seem to have noticed your arrival. Hello. Do you know anything about the stolen museum artifacts?
Oh, if it isn't the savior of Belobog, the Guardian's honored guest, child of the galaxy and stars. Welcome back to our eternally snow-covered yet forever beautiful winter metropolis.
Can you please answer the question we just asked?
I haven't heard of any stolen artifacts. These days, I'm too busy praising the grace of the preservation to be distracted by worldly matters. However, if your hearts are troubled by this affair, then I hope that Klapoth will bestow their blessings upon you both, and that you may soon find the evildoer who committed such a crime.
Thanks for your well wishes. Let's move on. Another half day gone, and nothing to show for it. The culprit is still hiding in the shadows. Can't we find even one lead?
Ah, if it isn't Belobog's most adorable public servant, and the magnificent outsider, good day to you.
Who could this be?
You know us?
Young lady, I have seen you on many occasions near the Everwinter monument teaching children the history of Belobog. I am truly in awe of your knowledge and patience.
By Jove, yes.
Okay, thanks for the compliment, I guess. May I ask, with whom do we have the pleasure of speaking?
I am Wallace Cambridge Limestein, the 25th head of the Limestein family. I am honored to make your acquaintance. And yes, I am familiar with this outsider next to you. She often walks right past me without so much as a greeting.
I kind of like the inflection there. It's like, and yes, I am familiar with this outsider next to you. Like, all right, calm. I don't even know who you are.
I am Wallace Cambridge Limestein, the 25th head of the Limestein...
Yes, you said this.
All right, we got it. Mr. Limestein, is there something you want to discuss with us?
As a matter of fact, I do. I noticed you two had been wandering around Executive Plaza for some time now, stopping to ask questions at every turn, so I surmised you were investigating something important.
Did you just say Executive Plaza?
As it so happens, I witnessed a strange incident recently that left me quite puzzled. And after reflecting on it for a time, I decided it would be most appropriate to inform public officials.
This incident, is it related to the museum thefts?
I can't say for sure that it's directly related, but a friend of mine I no longer hear from used to frequent the museum and often talked about its exhibits with a group of us tea lovers.
So by no longer hear from, you mean you've been unable to get in touch with this friend of yours?
Tea lovers, you say?
Precisely. His name is Norbert. We used to chat during lunch breaks in the lobby of the Goethe Hotel, along with a few other high-class individuals, of course. And one day, Norbert suddenly stopped showing up to our tea parties. It was as though he disappeared into thin air. I still remember the last thing he said to me. Limestein, listen to me. One must be ambitious in life. I'm gonna do something big for once.
Be ambitious in life? Do something big for once? Coming from the mouth of a wealthy gentleman, that sounded rather curious to me.
No. It's more, be ambitious in life. Do something big for once.
This Norbert guy, do you know what his line of work was?
I'm not entirely sure. I never asked.
Weren't the two of you friends?
You wouldn't understand. Friendship between gentlemen is as pure as water. We are all dignified people. Why bother with such trivial matters?
In the eyes of most people, there's a world of difference between trivial matters and a career. I have recorded all the clues you provided, Mr. Limestein. Thank you for putting your trust in the Silvermane Guards. We will keep you informed if there are any developments in the investigation.
No, I should be thanking you, young lady of the guards. Well then, if that's all, I shall take my leave.
Fairly well.
I wonder if this friend of Mr. Wallace has anything to do with the museum thefts. That's enough detective work for today. Questioning more people would just be a waste of energy. Let's go report back to Lady Bronya.
Indubitably. As Wallace stood over there, I want to learn more about these tea parties. Could I potentially get an invite, sir? No? Oh, well. Your tea parties are beneath me, then. Oh, something going on over here.
Miss Bronya, we're back.
Thank you both for your hard work. Did you find out anything in the administrative district?
We didn't find anything directly related to the museum thefts, but there was one thing worth noting.
You tell Bronya about Wallace's disappearing friend.
I see. It was the man from the Limestein family who provided the information. Norbert. I feel like I've heard that name somewhere before. Please give me a moment to see if I can recall. I remember now. The Minister of Transportation, Noel, has a nephew named Norbert. I believe he's currently working in the municipal department as a transportation coordinator.
Noel. I guess he comes from old money, too, Mills.
Norbert's position is indeed an idle one. It's no wonder he has time to socialize with members of the Limestein family. If what Wallace said is right, then Norbert must have been missing for several days already. There must be someone who knows where he is. Even if they want to keep the young man secret, they'll cough it up with the right kind of encouragement. Kyle, can I ask you a favor? I would like you to visit the residence of Mr. Noel and ask around regarding the whereabouts of Mr. Norbert.
Understood, Madam Guardian.
Well done, Mr. Kyle. After some time, Kyle heads back to Klipoff Fort.
Lady Bronya, Miss Pela, I have returned.
You were quite expedient, Kyle. Did you find anything out from the Department of Transportation?
It took a little prodding, but a few of the more timid attendants started speaking up. They say that Mr. Norbert was indeed leaving at odd hours recently. Whenever someone would ask where he was headed, he'd mumble something about going to the shopping street to inspect the site. The attendants think he might have a love interest, someone he doesn't want his family to know about. They haven't mentioned anything to the Minister of Transportation.
Going out at unusual hours, the shopping street, could it be? I have a request. I'd like the two of you to scout out Backwater Pass and see whether anything is happening there.
Why there? Does Norbert have anything to do with our investigation? Clearly.
While the two of you were busy questioning people in the city, I received some tip-offs. One source said that suspicious people were recently seen sneaking around the Fragmentum corrosion zone, and that the Silvermane guards didn't prevent them from entering. Together with Norbert's mumblings about a shopping street, I think all these clues are pointing in one direction.
So this Mr. Norbert could well be the museum thief we're looking for? We can't hold off a moment longer. Hurry! Let's go arrest that scoundrel!
My apologies, I have a lot of business to attend to at present. I won't be joining you. Good luck recovering the stolen items.
Indeed. Bronya won't be joining us. Let's go, Pela.
We can't delay a moment longer. We need to move now.
Let's head out. That's 61. Okay, so because I've been doing some of the weekly stuff, I have changed up Bailu, but I want to change Bailu back to Silver Wolf. There we go.
We can't delay
Yes. Let's head up. Let's go. Oh, I could have done it here. Anyway.
Something doesn't feel right. It's obviously an abandoned shopping street, but it also feels like people were here not too long ago. You must be cautious. Whether the culprit is Norbert or someone else, he certainly has no shortage of helpers. Shh! There are people talking inside. Let's see if we can hear them.
Yep, Bronya could not come with us today.
But sir, pretending to be a Silvermane guard is a serious crime.
Stop acting like a wimp. You think you can make a fortune with that kind of attitude? Don't overthink things. Just play your part. Today's password is roast the sausage, not the bread. You got that?
Got it, sir. Roast the sausage, not the bread.
Don't let anything in that doesn't know the password. Not even a fly. You got that?
Don't worry, Mr. Norbert. I understand.
So it is Norbert after all, and he's making his accomplice impersonate a Silvermane guard! The audacity! We found the culprit. Now we just have to catch him red-handed.
Calm down, Pela, calm down. Hello! Well.
Hey, you two! Don't move!
Must be the accomplice. Let's think fast.
Say the password or get out of here. This isn't any old shopping street, you know.
Boil the fish, not the egg.
What's that supposed to mean? You best turn around and go home. We're busy handling the delivery.
Executing official business. No loitering.
Wait, I remember. Roast the sausage, not the bread. That's the password, right?
Yes, that's correct.
So, you're gonna let us in now? We need to talk to Mr. Norbert about some important business-related matters.
Wait, did you just say Mr. Norbert? Who are you guys? This whole operation, the boss hasn't shown his face once. How could a couple of outsiders just walk in knowing his name?
Looks like our cover's blown.
Well, it is now. We could have made up some excuse, but you just said our cover's blown. Oh dear.
Guess we'll have to do this the hard way.
We were fine. But no.
This ends here.
Damn it, Pela. We had it. Let's go with Impair there.
Time for a buzz. This
Quantum.
battle is unavoidable.
Let's sport.
Lend me your strength.
Go with a simple normal attack here.
Next, I'll end your misery.
Get that skill point, you know. Ah, now we got that.
I'll free you from your disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Ya done?
We'll probably end up running into more of Norbert's goons up ahead. We should proceed with caution.
Is Caution here? How did Caution get here? Ah, I was expecting a puzzle. Let's go over to Sealer so we can potentially stealth our way through. Let's get some stuff there. Alright, mate. No, can't go that way. Whoop. Just make it easier for us.
Look, it's Norbert again. Let's see what he's talking about this time.
And the film? Is it packed and ready to go?
Right here, boss. The buyer's arriving soon. Here, this way.
Very good, very good. Well done. Patience. Soon we will all be rich.
Film! Did you hear that? That film he mentioned must be the same one that was stolen from the museum. Why would someone from such a wealthy family do something like this for money? It's unbelievable. We have to find a way to stop this before they sell the film.
There could be several reasons. They could be in some kind of debt they need to pay off, and have to pay it off quickly, so they've resorted to thievery.
Wait, don't make a move yet. We should take some pictures as evidence in case the culprit denies the charges. Your equipment probably has better specs than mine. I'll leave the picture taking to you.
Alright. Use the function below, right, okay. I was gonna go to the menu. There we go. Hello, hello, hello.
Norbert of the Cusper family, and everyone else here. Turn around and face me. Put your hands where I can see them.
What's going on? Who are you two?
Wallace says hi.
What's going on here, Norbert? Didn't you say your security was impenetrable?
Minions! I mean, Silvermane guards! Get rid of these intruders immediately!
You've got a lot of nerve drawing your weapons in front of an intelligence officer of the Silvermane Guards. Come on, let's give these imposters a taste of justice!
Feel the taste of justice.
Ah, great.
Indubitably. Right, you're the Quantums.
Hope you're prepared.
Alright. Let's go get our skill points up.
Is that all? It'll heal. In the name of Landau, a will forged in ice never falters.
Let's see about getting some quantum elsewhere if we can.
This battle is unavoidable.
No, we got wind. It's fine, it's fine.
Lend me your strength.
Let's see about taking you out if we can now. Yeah, there
I'll
we go.
end your misery.
That's good, that's good, that's good. Go normal attack on you.
Next.
Ultimate on you.
Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
So now we've got a skill point ready to take out you a little bit. And then it's back to Zeta again.
This ends here.
Stay close. Not a step
Hello.
back.
You'll pay for this.
Let's give her a
Lend
little
me
bit
your
of a buff there. And that buff as well.
We've entered the storm. To guard and defend. Crush them.
Lovely. Jubbly.
There's no point in resisting, Mr. Norbert. Your accomplices have been subdued. There's nowhere to run.
Stop resisting.
You had the audacity to tell your men to disguise themselves as Silvermane guards. I'll be interested to see what kind of sentence the adjudication panel gives you.
This isn't right! You have no evidence of wrongdoing! We're just here to...
Still in denial? Your secret dealings have been photographed. We have all the evidence we need. Is there anything else you want to say?
I knew I couldn't trust you hooligans. Even the simplest of sales was too much for you to handle.
Silvermane Guard Lady, I surrender! Take the microfilm back to the museum. I'm sorry. I only ask one thing. Please don't hand me over to my uncle. With Klepoth as my witness, Uncle would be so angry he'd turn me into a leather jacket!
That's not up to me.
That's not up to you whether or not it becomes a leather jacket. What? Okay. Bit harsh, but alright.
It was a difficult journey, but it had a happy ending. Not only did we manage to recover the microfilm, but we also caught the culprit behind the museum thefts. That's something worth celebrating. However, I'm still a little confused. Mr. Norbert is wealthy and opportunistic, but how did he manage to find so many accomplices and organize such a large-scale smuggling operation? These questions can wait until the interrogation. As for you and me, our work ends here. Thanks for your efforts. Come on, let's take the microfilm back to the museum.
To the museum! Ah, it's nice to see them enjoying it. It really is. All our hard work is paying off. It's lovely. Need to have a gander at all these exhibits here in a minute.
It works! The slides play without a hitch. The microfilm is undamaged. Once the projector is restored, the History Culture Hall can reopen to the public. Then visitors can enjoy all three of the museum's most important exhibits. I want to thank you again, on behalf of all the museum staff and all of the citizens of Belobog. If it weren't for your help, I'm afraid many of the exhibits in this museum would have been lost.
Don't mention it.
I'm just stating the obvious. The way I see it, the museum's reopening is a very significant event, and worth remembering more than any other time in the past. A whole generation has grown up in the underworld in the last decade or so, and they never had the privilege of seeing these precious works of art and historical treasures. What you've done has helped bridge a huge gap for them. So, even if it seems small to you, you did a very great thing here. That's enough praise for now. Anyway, if you did want to continue working as a part-time manager and handle the daily operations of the History Culture Hall, I recommend talking to Miss Eris. It's not like we don't have any other suitable candidates for the position. Isn't it great you can help us with such an enjoyable job? Ah, and by the way, I'll keep you informed if we pry anything noteworthy out of that Mr. Norbert guy. See you later.
That implies to me that that's not the end of this yet. Just the way that was worded. We shall see that. We got Bronya now. That's quite a lot of appeal there. There we go. Ooh, that's a lot of funds. Lovely. Right, let's have an investigation of all these exhibits. This is a projector. With it, the museum can project and display preset presentation content to help audience understand the history and culture of Belobog better. You can select and play the content you are interested in. Which topic would you like to select? Topic 3, gaze upon the stars? Ah! With a crisp click, the content regarding gaze upon the stars appears on the wall of the museum. A velvety female narration. Like, well, oh, I was gonna say I'd need to turn off auto. It's not gonna wait for me. It's not gonna wait for me. Okay, fine. A portrait of Elisa Rand. There we go. The first Supreme Guardian. The exhibit label reads, when the rumors of the Doomsday spread, the Supreme Guardian Elisa Rand and her loyal architects called upon everyone to build a great wall, which has since become the last bastion against the wind and snow. Belobog. In the face of the invasion of the enemy from beyond the sky, Elisa held her flaming spear and led the people of Belobog to defend the city until the god of spring and war, Jarilo, descended upon our ranks. Her tenacity and valor summoned the turbulent Eternal Freeze to disperse the enemy invaders and completely ended the tragic war that lasted more than 30 years. Miraculously, peace sprouted once again from the land ravaged by war. At the end of her life, the Supreme Guardian decided to go to the Fragmentum and meet her own end, in order to announce to the people that Belobog would never be choked by the throat by personal will. Oh my. Our first Supreme Guardian has since fallen. At the same time, Belobog officially took its first step into the age of wind, snow, and kindling. She who evokes miracles, Elisa Rand. Look at this guy. An ice sculpture of a Void Ranger from the Antimatter Legion. It was frozen some 800 years ago when the Eternal Freeze arrived. The fate of a Void Ranger is to be forgotten during their destruction. This particular one was immortalized as an exhibit, taking in surprised looks of the public, and that might be a form of fortune for its meager existence. Oh my. A portrait of Alina Rand, the 5th Supreme Guardian. The exhibition label reads, "Praise the kind Alina Rand. Her benevolence has caused the valiant Silvermane Guards to raise their halberds to defend the magnificent Klipov Fort and the high wall, keeping storm and blizzard out. Her mercy brought clarity back to the troubled jurisprudence of Belobog, abolished the dignitaries who had been abusing their powers, and enjoyed them to return their authority to their rightful owners. Her compassion made Belobog's stalled gears roar once more, and the smoke of progress flowed from the towering furnace into the snow curtain. Her love is as broad as the sky is deep, and her kindness shines like gold. Praise be to the benevolent Alina Rand." The loving Alina Rand. Oh my. So who we got now? A portrait of Svetlana Rand, the 2nd Supreme Guardian. The exhibition label reads something about her hat, because that's a lovely hat. Elisa Rand's adopted daughter, the leader of the Greener Architects, the commander of the Silvermane Guards, and Belobog's protector and rebuilder. During that time, people only recognized her by her connection with Elisa. They compared her to the previous Supreme Guardian, but eventually, she won over the people's hearts in her own unique way, reuniting the hearts of those that have drifted apart. With her own hands, she crushed the kindlings of chaos into charred wood. She built countless shelters for the war-torn city, and brought food and warm geomarrow to all who suffered. It was only after the Supreme Guardian walked in her mother's footsteps and entered the Fragmentum once more that the people finally let go of their preconceived thinking and sang her noble name. Iron Fist, Svetlana Rand. Here we go then. A portrait of Alexandra Rand, the 3rd Supreme Guardian. The exhibition label reads, "The founder of the University of Belobog and its permanent honorary head mistress, the most generous academic sponsor in all of Belobog. She compiled confusing languages and metrics, measured them against the same standards, and broke the barriers that separate people's minds. She is the torchbearer of the Belobog underworld, a peerless pioneer. She was the reason every valorous soul in Belobog devoted themselves to the great cause of the Geomarrow Development Group, and the reason our Everwinter city found expansion on the rocky underground. She is the record keeper of Belobog's history, the compiler of Belobog Chronicles. She has found her footing in Belobog among the tsunami of time and sketched the direction in which the Everwinter city was headed. She is an enlightened, a truth seeker, a true exalted, and one of the only 2 Supreme Guardians to have her name carved onto the ever-standing walls of the Everwinter city. The heart of the administrative district, the Alexandra Plaza, was named after her. The wise Alexandra Rand." Am I? Here we got here then. A portrait of Cyril Rand, the 8th Supreme Guardian. The exhibition label reads, "Her life was a tragedy full of mediocrity, arduity, ups and downs. Her administration caused every anguish known to humanity to the Belobogian citizenry. In her youth, Cyril was unexceptional. However, due to a series of opportune events, she became a candidate to become the Supreme Guardian. Her naivete and kindness were abused by those in power with malevolent intent, who took all the authority as their own, and who continuously carry out an impressive rule against the citizens, just to assuage their own greed. Finally, a hidden deposition ignited and exploded one snowy night. In an elaborate, premeditated trickery, Cyril lost her life to her own subjects. Then the people cheered for the fall of the tyrant. A century later, many more wrote her story as an elegy of the ages. The fool Cyril Rand. Oh, is this really the Cyril I know? Let me ask Ul'dan what this is all about. Oh. Maybe we can correct the history. A nice sculpture of a Void Ranger from the Antimatter Legion. It was frozen some 800 years ago when the Eternal Freeze arrived. You don't understand the physical structure of these Void Rangers, but maybe these monsters are still alive, brainstorming a way to escape inside the solid ice. Well, we've still got a few more things to look at, but I want to see whether or not we can get that corrected and teach people the true history of what was going on there with Cyril. Welcome to Belobog History. About the portrait of Cyril the Fool. Twitka, did you say that the description of Cyril the Fool's portrait deviated from the truth? But how's that possible? The description is taken from the history textbooks of the Belobog Academy. Everything is in black and white. I met Cyril before. Well, stop pulling my leg. Still, I can tell you have at least heard of Cyril from your tone. I have evidence that supports Cyril. Since you sound so sure of yourself, I'll take a look at your evidence. Oh, I like this. Especially because, genuinely, how many people are actually going to interact with these exhibits? You know, like thinking trails. How many people speak to the NPCs? People may not get the conclusion to this, like the history books being altered and changed as a result of what we're doing. Triple dot. I can't believe you have found such a precious historical source. I'll get someone to revise the content of the exhibit label based on your discovery later. Of course, I must also report this to Cloth Forge right away. Thanks, Twitka. If it weren't for you, the girl wouldn't have her rightful place in the history of Belobog. You're indeed the hero of Belobog, Twitka. You deserve that title. Oh, I like that. Oh, I like that a lot. That's a nice touch. These little things, these little tiny things really, really, like, expand the story for me, make the world very, very interesting. Again, that's something I like about Trails, like that's how that works. These little tiny events here and there make everything feel more believable and feel like you have an impact and you feel like the world's changing because of what you're doing. Simple thing like that. Oh, love it, love it. A set of newspaper clippings in their appendices. This clipping is titled, Good News at Sunrise for the Solwarm Festival, a decisive victory at the Snow Plains War Front. A set of newspaper clippings in their appendices. This clipping is titled, Brothers in Court. Gotha Mansion sealed temporarily. Oh. There we are. Halberds and firearms, the standard Silvermane Guard weapons. Most museum goers don't know the power of these weapons. After all, few, if any, have had the chance to witness and experience them. Indeed. A set of historical data about the Supreme Guardian Cyril the Fool. Some say that Akivili's Trailblaze journey is a journey to link the past, the present, and the future. As a trailblazer aboard the Astral Express, you accomplished the mission with distinction. Indeed. A set of newspaper clippings and their appendices. This clipping is titled Supreme Guardian Tatiana delivers an important speech. Do we not know what the speech is? Okay. A scale miniature of the Stellaron imprisonment device. It housed the reason the planet was plunged into calamity. Don't worry, it's just a model. It shouldn't cause you to have any auditory hallucinations. Probably. Right, so we've checked out all the exhibits we currently can in here, so we shall end this part here, and in between the parts I'll do a little bit more management and we'll see about chasing down some new exhibits again, I imagine, and maybe some new guides. We'll see about that though, in the next part. I really like that Cyril stuff. Again, just little things like that. Thank you. Thank you. That's the kind of thing, that's the kind of detail I love in games. Thank you, developers. Anyway, we'll see you in the next part. Ta-da for now.